something different, like Jack's Teriyaki Bowls. Only at Jack in the Box for a limited time.
Well, welcome back to Safeco Field here in Seattle. Game one of this three-game series between the A's and the Mariners. Let's check the game time weather presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The admission-free boardwalk is open this weekend. As usual in Seattle this time of year, it's nice and cool, but you know what? It feels pretty good. 60 degrees, and the roof is open here at Safeco Field.
I bet it's warm in the dugout down where those guys are standing. Just thinking about what could be happening tonight.
So, quick look at the lineup for the Oakland A's, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Starts with that man, Ramon Laureano, and then it's Chapman, Lowrie, Davis, Piscotty, Cano, Olson, Simeon, and Lucroy.
And it is James Paxton, as you mentioned. He's had a lot of success against the Athletics, but also coming off a little bit of pneumonia, a lot of sickness going throughout the clubhouse of the Mariners. But on the season, this will be his fourth start against the Athletics, 27th overall. He's 111. He's a big strikeout pitcher, and 194 is pretty good compared to the number of walks, the few walks he has. Good fastball.
And the first pitch is on the inside corner, a strike to Ramon Laureano. So we're underway from Safeco. Chapman to follow, and then Lowrie here in the very first inning.
And the thing about him, he will throw his fastball the majority of the time. He's got a 2 and a 4 seam, but bottom line, he's a big strikeout pitcher. He does have 4 pitches, but fastball is the number 1.
Tapped slowly to Seager. Gets a nice big hop, flips it across, and that is the first out of the ball game. Defensively for the Seattle Mariners, they'll look like this. Denard Span in left, Mitch Haniger is in center, Ben Gamble is in right, and it's Kyle Seager, Gene Segura, Dee Gordon, and Robinson Cano on the infield, third to first. Mike Zunino is your catcher. So I guess you could say, Ray, that's the A lineup for the Mariners?
Yes, it is, and they will probably feature the A lineup all 3 games. But you're right, and I think for Scott Service, they still have a lot to play for, just in pride more than anything. And thinking about what if. Because at one time, it looked like they were going to break that drought. It's 2001 going to postseason in some capacity, but it's not going to happen.
0-1 pitch to Chapman, foul straight back. All right, Ray. We will be the first to send out congratulations to the Oakland A's.
Yay, all right.
The Yankees just beat the Rays by a final score of 4-1 in St. Petersburg. So with the Rays losing, the Athletics are in the postseason. Awesome. So they're guaranteed the second wild card spot. They'll still try to chase down the Yankees to host a wild card game, or maybe even chase down the Astros. But the most important thing is, you know what? They know it.
Yeah.
They know it. So, boy, what a season, Ray. I don't think anybody thought that we would be saying this, and if anybody says they saw it coming, I'm not going to believe it.
I don't believe them either. I agree, because in spring training, there's no way they're trying to figure out. I mean, when a couple of pitchers go down with Tommy John, and then all the, 12, 13 starting pitchers on the season, and all these things happening, but there's the postseason appearances. Of course, the Yankees top it, twice as many as the Athletics, but the Dodgers, Cardinals, and the A's. So they are in. Now it's just a matter of what it's going to be, whether it's going to be at the Coliseum or it's going to be a playoff game in Houston next Monday.
Who knows?
There's a lot of things that can happen. That's why it's important. And I think, as we mentioned in our open, the importance of having to play games that mean something the remainder of this season. That's the main thing.
And for the A's in Oakland, they are playing in their 51st season in Oakland. It's the 19th time that the A's have made the postseason in those 51 years. So good stuff. And you know what? Nobody likes to celebrate after a loss. So the A's want to win this game. They're going to celebrate no matter what.
Well, they can celebrate, but it'd be nice that remain the game and a half behind the Yankees in the wild card. Absolutely. Because let's not forget the Yankees have the tiebreaker. And there's the final that's gone up there. So the guys do know that on the bench. But they also know the importance of continuing to play good baseball the remainder of the week. I think I saw a slight smile on the face of Bob Melvin. And why not? He deserves it.
2-2 the count to Jed Lowrie. miss. He struck him out. So James Paxton retires the A's in order in the top of the first. But you know what? That's the most we've enjoyed a 3-up, 3-down A's batting inning all season long. So again, if you're just joining us, the Rays just lost, and the A's are in the postseason here in 2018. So quite an accomplishment for this Athletics team, and sitting on their 94th win of the year. All right, so with that, let's check back in with the studio for an October Quest update. Guys? For the Astros. Astros are playing right now. We'll keep a close eye on that one. And the Yankees with that win now 2 games up on the A's for the first wild card. And remember, the Yankees have the tiebreaker of these. So really, it's 3.
Right.
So there's work to do, but the A's will have something to play for all week.
And that's why tonight's important, and the rest of the week. And how about this for a go? You look at the 94, the A's have 6 remaining. You want to really get greedy? How about 100 wins?
Wouldn't that be something?
Going into postseason with 100 victories would be outstanding, but every game is important, and especially knowing that the Yankees do have a game-and-a-half lead, essentially 2 games, could be 2.5, but the A's would like to be celebrating after this game, knowing that it's just a 1.5 game deficit, and see what happens. But I don't know that I can ever remember where you go down in the final week with so much to play for once you know you're already in postseason. But that's the great part about it. This is the beginning of postseason for the Athletics.
All right, let's take a look at the starting lineup for the hometown Mariners, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Haniger, Segura, Cano, Cruz, Span, Seager, Gamble, Zunino, and Gordon. So they are facing Daniel Migden, who kicks and deals. The first pitch of the game for him is in first strike.
You know, Cap, I think you said it best with the Coliseum, that it's kind of an audition. So there's a lot going on from the team standpoint, but individuals as well for the pitchers, and who knows what's going to happen. But I think it's great competition for everybody in the final 6 games of the regular season. For Daniel Migden, not great success against the Mariners. However, as we detailed in our open, his last time that he started was on June the 23rd against the White Sox. Since then, he's been pitching out of the bullpen, and coincidentally happened to be against the Mariners that he was the 3rd pitcher to follow Liam Hendricks and Daniel Coulombe. And of course came in and is one of those where he did not know up or down or whatever, but since then he'd been kind of told when he was going to pitch. Tonight he was told he's starting and is extremely happy.
So 5 straight relief appearances for Migden, but now indeed back to normal for him, I'm sure.
Saw that mustache turned up. I said, "You're really going to start tonight, aren't you?" He says, "Absolutely." Clean shaven, handlebar mustache. That's his signature starting look. And he's got it. He got tired of saving mustache wax.
Let's take a quick look at the A's defense. Mark Canha's in left field. Ramon Laureano's in center. Stephen Piscotty is in right. And it's Chapman, Simeon, Lowrie, and Olsen on the infield, with Jonathan Lucroy doing the catching. Oh, 0-2 the count to Mitch Haniger, having a terrific season for the Mariners. 26 home runs, 91 runs batted in. It's this one very high to right field. Piscotty did not see it. Now he comes in and he makes the catch. He put his arms out and he said, "I can't see it." And then he found it. He found it late and he made the catch.
Well, it's kind of like I got it, oops, and then almost overran it, but a great recovery for Stephen Piscotty. He was waiting to see what Jed Lowrie's doing. Time now for the Nissan keys to the game. How about get her done? Well, the A's got it done. They're in for sure right now. It's just a matter of at what point and how they're going to enter postseason. And for Daniel Migden, starter, step up. Absolutely. He's happy to be back in the rotation. Let's see if he can continue to do what he did as a starter before he became the follower. And back in the rotation, Guy. But I think in these three games, the A's will use a starting pitcher.
That's what it looks like anyway. And you do have to, if you're the A's, start thinking about what you're going to do next Wednesday.
Absolutely.
In that wild card game, if that's the game you play in.
But I think with so many pitchers, and especially with the way they've been going with the opener, if you will. And of course, Liam Hendricks is the one that's been doing the opening first inning, except for the game on September the 1st when he went to an inning and 2/3. Daniel Coulomb gave up the 2-run single to Gamble. 2-run double that leaves play to the 2 runs.
That one's hit hard. Behind the bag at third. Chapman has it. He throws out Gene Segura. Nice play by Matt Chapman. Well, tonight, any 95-mile-per-hour fastball is our fast pitch, brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest Wi-Fi at home and on the go. So 2 outs. Here's Robinson Cano.
Well, with the Yankees win tonight, essentially, it's over for both the Mariners and the Tampa Bay Rays. And whether the A's won or not, once the Yankees did win, so the Mariners, it will be once again 2001, the last time they went to postseason. You know what? The A's couldn't be happier because they're the one that's going. That's the good part from the A's standpoint. Because I don't know that anybody at the beginning of the season, like you said, thought that it's going to be the A's finishing above the Mariners, considering how loaded they were.
2-0 the count. This is the list you don't want to be on. Longest current postseason droughts. This is baseball, folks. Mariners 17 years, Marlins 15, Padres 12, White Sox 10. It gets worse, though. That one is deep to center field. Laureano's going to run out of room. It's 1-0 Mariners on the Cano home run, his 10th of the year. Robinson Cano got ahead in the count and leaned on this one.
Well, it sounded like it's going to be a home run at 91, and it was. 4-seam, get behind, and Robinson Cano missed a lot of games with a broken hand, coincided with a suspension, but he has come back, and number 10, so he's in double figures. A nice catch by Fan in right center. Robinson Cano did not miss it.
So look at those numbers for Robinson Cano. Yeah, he's been hot. 699 batting average. That's like a softball batting average. So pitch cast brought to you by SoFi, a modern finance company. Here's Nelson Cruz. Nelson Cruz has 36 home runs and 92 RBIs. Cruz with a 261 batting average, so another good season for the slugger. Shift is on. 3 infielders on the left side for Cruz. Outfield plays straight away and pretty deep. Good pitch right on the outside corner.
Looking back to June 6th to the June 23rd for Daniel Mengden, the 4 starts, he gave up a total of 9 home runs in those 4 starts. 4 he gave up to the Texas Rangers at Arlington.
Swing and a miss on a high fastball, struck him out. Robinson Cano with a home run. So we're through 1 in Seattle. The Mariners lead the A's 1-0. So that is a wonderful feeling to all the coaching staff and the players, and the front office who have all worked very hard. Ray Fosse, you've worked hard too. Congratulations.
Well, congratulations yourself, because it's anytime you go to postseason special, in whatever capacity you're in with the ball club, you start a season, a long season of 162 games, and ultimate goal is to play in October, and the A's are there. I don't care. Once you get in, as the O's say, you get in and you start dancing. Who knows what can happen?
Well, that group is really happy. They all got A's stuff on, right? Well, that is 185 front office people from the Athletics. The A's brought them up here. They did such a great job this season. All coming up for the series, and well, not only did they get to, hey, we get to come up 3 days in Seattle, but then they get to celebrate tonight. How great is that? So they're having a good time, a well-deserved good time. As the A's have secured a postseason berth. That's a good-looking outfit. Yeah. 1-2 the count to Khris Davis. Khris Davis, in one of our post-game interviews over the weekend, said, Dallas, I just want to get to the postseason. Well, he's in the postseason for the first time, which is pretty cool for Khris Davis.
You look up and down the roster of the Athletics, and there are a lot of first-timers.
Well, I looked, Ray, at the position players that have been in the postseason for the Athletics, and it's a fairly short list. And again, this is just position players, not pitchers, but the guys who have been in postseason: Lucroy, Lowrie, Piscotty, and Matt Joyce. Yeah. And that's it from a position player standpoint. Now, some of the pitchers, some of the veteran pitchers have been in the postseason. So Davis is retired. Let's check back in with the studio for this October Quest update. All right, so the A's now 5 back. The Astros with 99 wins, so they are looking to get 100 wins for the second year in a row. How about that? So the Astros in Toronto for 3, and then they will finish in Baltimore for 4. So that is what they have this week.
And for them, let's say they continue to win, they're going to have to play, because that 5 days is a long time for the final game on Sunday, and by the time you play the Friday night game, you're looking at essentially 5 full days.
The Boston Red Sox won tonight at home 6-2. So the Red Sox, with that win, clinched the best record in all of baseball. So that gives them home field advantage throughout the postseason. So they really don't have much to play for. I mean, they got postseason home field advantage throughout the whole postseason wrapped up.
Except when they lose.
Except when they lose. Yeah. I'm just giving you the pregame chatter.
But it does change dramatically if you start going down backwards and all that kind of stuff. And that's usually the wild card participant never gets home field advantage, but evidently that could change too if the one's in front. So Paxton, as he struck out 16 in one game against the A's, 10 in another. So he is a strikeout machine. As a matter of fact, they are chanting here, similar to what they do when King Felix takes the mound. Why not? He is 196 started with 194 a couple tonight.
First pitch to Mark Cano is in for a strike. Cano had 247, 17 home runs for Mark, 52 RBIs. Cleveland Indians, they are locked into the 3rd spot in the American League postseason. So the Red Sox are locked into 1, and the Indians are locked into 3. Whoever wins the West would be in the 2 spot. and then the 2 wild cards. So really the Indians and the Red Sox, they don't necessarily have anything to play for in the standings or in the postseason situation. The 5 American League teams are in: Astros, Red Sox, Indians, A's, and Yankees. Two and two the count. He wants to smile.
Yeah, he did between innings. He didn't think a camera was on him, though. We got him. He deserves a smile.
3 and 2 to count.
Cano got Paxton at the Coliseum. Gets the count working in his favor right now. See if he can do it again. Battles and waits. Remember, Cano has 13 of his 17 home runs against lefties.
To pitch to Cano. Hit on the ground to short. Segura has it. Throws to first, side retired. When we come back, A's Chief Operating Officer Chris Giles is going to join us in the booth. Get you all set for the postseason. In the booth by their Chief Operating Officer for the Oakland A's, Chris Giles, who's got a big smile on his face. Congratulations. We're going to the postseason.
Thank you. It's been about 10 minutes now. We're fired up.
You know, some executives have to wait a long time. You're jumping right into this postseason stuff.
I'm very thankful. We've got a very special situation in Oakland.
Well, it's been quite a season, and now you feel like it's not really ending. It's just the fun part is really beginning. So well, you guys have done a great job, and I know that we just showed, 185 front office people here, so they're having a good time. Tell us about them all coming up here and what the reason for that was.
Yeah, we've had such a special season both on and off the field, and we really wanted to reward all the hard work of the front office. You know, both the business operations and the baseball operations side. We invited everyone, every full-time employee to come out. We're going to be here for tonight's game and tomorrow night's game as well. So,
and sometimes you get a little lucky, right?
That's right.
You clinch with the front office here. So that group is having a good time, and they should have a good time tonight because the A's are in the postseason. That's great.
You know who got lucky was Steve Vucinich on that home side of that clubhouse. I mean, he wanted to clinch there, and I think everybody did yesterday for the fans in Oakland because how supportive they have been. But bottom line, the message is going to be down in the visiting clubhouse.
That's
here.
right. The janitorial crew at home is sending us thank you letters.
All right, so tell us about postseason tickets. I know it sounds like open to the public on Friday, but somebody gets a little help on Thursday, right?
Yeah, A's Access members, we love to take care of you.
Yep.
You'll be able to buy single game tickets for the postseason starting Thursday at 9 a.m. General admission or general ticket sale on sale is Friday morning, 9 a.m.
Chris explained that because it's important, because when you say single game tickets, because in the past it's been you had to buy this whole strip, commit a lot of money, where maybe somebody said, I don't have that money to do it. How much does this help those people to say, I could get a single ticket?
Yeah, so we let A's Access members buy the full season strip round by round, but this is actually just the single game on sale. So Thursday you'll be able to buy tickets to whatever games you want to come to just on a single game basis for the wild card and the divisional round.
And league championship and World Series.
That's correct. Those will come.
So there it is on Friday, September 28th, just coming up, a couple days, 9 a.m. And the A's Access presale begins on Thursday. So the phones will be ringing.
They have been ringing. It's been very fun.
Well, when we were talking to yesterday as we walked around and talked to all the fans before the game on Fan Appreciation Day, all those people that were there were all A's Access. And it was fun asking them about it. They're like, oh, yeah, I joined within the first hour. So they were excited about it, and you could tell that they were all looking forward to experiencing it for a full year next year.
Yeah, we're so thankful for the reaction to the program. Obviously, the team is very exciting, so that helps as well. And we've gotten amazing feedback from the fans. I mean, just the benefits that it offers: half off concessions, the ability to come to any game you want to, 25% off merchandise. All the feedback to date has been really positive. So we're really thankful for the support we're getting from the fan base.
Chris, I think you can look at the A's, not expected to do what they've done so far, but hope deep into October, kind of a stepping stone. How much do you see what you're doing with the A's Access, that kind of a stepping stone for future and great things to happen for the organization, in addition to what's happening on the field?
In order for this team to reach its full potential, we need an exciting environment for them to play in. And A's Access is one way that we can do that. And we're just making baseball a lot more accessible in Oakland. We're trying to kind of break down barriers. We listen to a lot of people say, hey, here's why I'm not a season ticket member. Here's what's holding me back. And we really built A's Access to break down some of those barriers.
That's right.
Okay, so the postseason gets here. And we'll see about the wild card game. It'd be great to host. If not, you get to the division series. You get a couple of home games. What about Mount Davis? You take the tarps off?
We're open to it. If we sell out any of the games early enough to warrant putting them on sale, we're going to do it. We're ready to do it. We had a little trial with the San Francisco Giants series.
Or the Giants game. That worked out pretty well. Seager strikes out, so that's 2 outs here in the bottom of the second inning. Speaking with A's Chief Operating Officer Chris Giles, who getting his team, his group now ready for the postseason. And that's a challenge in itself too. All of a sudden the league gets a lot more involved, right, when you get to the postseason.
Yeah, I mean, it's really their game starting with the postseason, but they rely on our team to facilitate. And while an 81 game season is a long time to keep people motivated, nothing like a postseason run to get people fired up to keep working.
I understand Major League Baseball was outpicked the A's even before at this point. What was that like to having MLB come in and kind of walk you through, and you tell them about the Coliseum, and having that kind of a joint meeting between Major League Baseball and you?
I mean, it's interesting. I mean, part of me doesn't want to talk about the postseason until a moment like today. But we realize that part of our job is to make sure that we're prepared for anything that could come our way. So we try to, insulate the baseball folks from those type of conversations until today. I know David Force came down to be with the team today, provided we got the situation we did from Tampa.
So drop in a little, hey, we're kind of superstitious here on Major League Baseball. Probably not a great idea.
That number 6 down there, especially.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would never go, but now, I mean, we actually saw a smile on his face, but, he knows, as the rest of the team knows, there's a lot of business to take care of this next week, because there's a lot that can happen between now and next Sunday, which makes it really nice for the A's and Bob Melvin and his team to continue to play well.
That's right.
The A's last year, 75 wins. Tonight, they're going for their 95th win. How about that for a turnaround? Big bouncer. Olson's got it. Chris Giles, congratulations again. Keep up the great work.
Thank you.
Go have fun with your employees.
Good job. Outstanding. Congratulations. Got a big smile. I like that.
Stream the game on NBCSportsCalifornia.com and the NBC Sports app. It's presented by your NorCal Honda dealers. Top of the third, the Mariners leading the A's 1-0. Matt Olson to lead things off. Olson hitting in the 7th spot. Paxton has retired the first 6. A couple of strikeouts. Matt Olson with 28 homers, 78 RBIs.
Well, he's a first-timer, and of course you could go around the infield. You could look at Olson, Simeon, and Chapman on the infield, first-timers. Laureano in center. Cano left tonight. Scott, as you mentioned, has participated. So I think, you know, I think it's kind of a stepping stone. And I remember 1988 when the A's went to the World Series and unfortunately lost to the Dodgers. But it was kind of a, okay, now we know what it's like. And of course, next year they came back and won the World Series. But sometimes it takes getting there and getting that feeling of playing in October. And you want to get greedy once you get there and continue. But if it doesn't work out, at least you have the experience. And that's probably the biggest thing that these guys can have gained at this point. And all of a sudden, there's a lot of smiles on the faces. Mike Fiers has been there.
Strike 3 call. So that is strikeout number 3 for James Paxton.
But it came right after Olson after getting the 2-2 count, and that's a paint job. Zunino actually didn't have to move the ball up into the midsection. It was already a strike at the knees.
There's Marcus Simeon hitting in the 8th spot. Simeon had 257 with 13 home runs and 64 runs batted in. He's got a couple of home runs in his career off James Paxton. 4 for 15 with the 2 home runs. Jonathan Lucroy will be next. Paxton giving up the 2 home runs to Simeon, and here they are.
September 26th last year, led off the game. And this year on August the 14th, led off the game. So that's pretty nice for Marcus Simeon in those 2 games that he was the leadoff spot. I wonder if he told the skipper, hey, why are you hitting me 8th tonight?
Bottom of the line of production.
That's right. Yeah. He probably he asked you about it, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. He ran it past me first. Daily meeting.
Well, if you have a daily meeting, that's just one of many he has, because
that's
he's
why I stay
constantly meeting. Out here early. You know, probably for Bob Melvin, he comes out extremely early, probably as soon as the clubhouse opens, if not before. Gets all his work done so he can talk and meet and do all the things that he has to do. So it's a long day for the skipper and his staff.
2-2 the count to Marcus Simeon. Just got a piece of that one, rolls it foul.
Well, when the A's have faced a quality pitcher, which they are in Paxton tonight, Jonathan Lucroy caught all 3 games over the weekend against the Twins and in there again tonight. Paxton at 41 pitches in the 3rd inning, but the A's have had some pretty good pitchers they have faced that they have worked to the point that they have left the game relatively quick.
So 96 miles an hour, and that is strikeout number 4.
Well, as he did with Matt Olson on the 2-2, came right back with a fastball. You have that kind of a fastball, even though that one off the plate. The old saying, maybe too close to take.
So that brings up Jonathan Lucroy. Lucroy has decent numbers against James Paxton. There's his overall season numbers. Against Paxton, he's 6 for 15 with a home run. Had a good swing there. So he jumps ahead 1-2, a well-placed fastball. So Paxton looks like he's got his good stuff so far. Hey.
He is Canadian, so that's why it's the A.
Drilled foul.
You know, when the Blue Jays come in to play the Mariners, they say a lot of the Canadians come into Seattle. It's almost like a home field advantage or home crowd for the Toronto fans. I wonder what they do, though, when Paxton's pitching, since he is Canadian and he's pitching against their team. That has to be an interesting scenario.
Lucroy to left. And that baby's gone. So this ball game is tied at 1 on Lucroy's 4th home run.
How about that? It goes 96 to Marcus Semien. He throws a changeup to Jonathan Lucroy. Talk about speeding up somebody's at bat. So Lucroy, August the 15th. That was in Minnesota that he hit a 3-run home run off speed here. Luke got him, and to your point, Kai, some good numbers against Paxton and the lower part of the batting order with 2 outs in the 3rd inning. An off-speed pitch hit into the A's bullpen. Okay.
So for the A's, it is their 215th home run this year. And they are 2nd in the league behind the New York Yankees.
There it is. 2 home runs against him, like you said, with a very impressive batting average, and a lot of fans cheering for the Athletics.
Yeah, especially in that 2nd level by the restaurant out in right field. There seems to be a pretty happy group out there.
No, that's from a partner.
All right,
That's for you.
my favorite fan. So 3-1 now to Ramon Laureano.
And if you notice, a lot of the A's players with tighten it up, the haircuts. Well, they have a barber in the clubhouse. You know, they put a sign up. Jeff Bob would say, "Hey, barber's here today," so they'll go in and visit and get a haircut.
See that in a handful of different ballparks.
Yeah. Here he's got his own room.
Yeah.
He's got like his own barber shop.
Full count to Ramon Laureano, grounded out to 3rd to open up the ball game. Lines one to center field. That's a base hit.
Well, 3-2 for Laureano, and facing Paxton as he did first at bat, grounded out this time, elevated fastball, and Paxton right back up the middle for Laureano, and as always running hard to first base, rounding the bag aggressively. I was talking to him about that, Kipe, and about his aggressiveness and rounding the bag, and talking about the great Hall of Famer Willie Mays, how he would run around so aggressively he'd slide, and Laureano says, I like to do that too. He says, that's how I like to go around the base. Be aggressive, so if the outfielder makes a mistake, I can continue to run. And he did it when Piscotty went 1st to 3rd at the Coliseum. He coasted in the 2nd. So good aggressive player for the Athletics.
So here's Matt Chapman. First pitch, a changeup that is a little bit low, I guess. Chapman hit a fly ball to right field in the 1st. Cano a home run for the Mariners. Lucroy a home run for the A's. Chapman, it's a towering fly ball right center. It's going to be Haniger, the center fielder, who waits, and he's got it, and that will do it. But the A's get on the board. Jonathan Lucroy with his 4th home run of the year. Bottom of the 3rd coming up. We're tied at 1. Bottom of the third inning, the A's and the Mariners all tied at 1. The A's found out top of the first inning, just a couple of minutes into the ball game, that the Tampa Bay Rays had lost, and that locked up a postseason berth for the A's. And
That's
Jonathan
right.
Lucroy.
100th career for
Can't
Jonathan.
forget that.
That's right.
Nice milestone for a guy who was a late addition to the Athletics, actually late spring training, and he's turned out to be pretty darn valuable.
Absolutely, and I think one of the things we saw him in Milwaukee when finally the A's got a chance to go to Milwaukee and interleague play. And I remember watching him play, and he was a very good catcher, a very good offensive catcher. But I think right now, even though it's just his 4th home run, and congratulations, number 100, but his work behind the plate has been exceptional. And I think that's his main attribute, especially now. And you know, legs get a little heavy at times. You know, you don't get all those doubles anymore because legs, if you catch as many games as he has, it starts taking its toll on him. What he has done to the pitching staff has really been outstanding.
And I think too, and it's nothing against your backup catcher, but if your starting catcher catches a lot,
yeah,
well then it's just pretty natural that your pitchers are going to feel more comfortable with him.
Great point, exactly. And he loves to catch everything. And plus, he's thrown out more base runners than anybody in baseball.
So only Wilson Contreras has caught more innings this year.
It's only 30 behind him.
Yadier Molina. He just keeps rolling along.
Yes, he does.
Fouled straight back by Mike Zunino.
I think he said he's going to retire after his contract is up the one he just signed. That'd be a first ballot Hall of Famer, Yadier Molina. Very deserving.
Another 2-2 to Zunino. Got him swinging. Strikeout number 4 for Daniel Migden.
How about StatCast for number 100 for Jonathan Lucroy? Off speed after some pretty good fastballs, 102 off the bat, 25 degree, and projected 360 just in the front row. That's as long as all that matters. Jonathan Lucroy, and you know, you look at him, he's hit a home run off Greinke. Cole Hamels of the Rangers, the grand slam. You got Gonzalez from the Minnesota Twins, a 3-run shot, and Paxton tonight. So it's a pretty good pitchers that he's gone deep against.
StatCast AI powered by AWS. Dee Gordon swings and misses at the first pitch. Dee Gordon at 269. He's got 3 home runs and 32 runs batted in. Has 17 doubles. He's got 7 triples. He's got 30 stolen bases.
That's a dimension added to the Mariners in the offseason. Acquisition of Dee Gordon playing center. They moved to second when Cano was injured.
The on-base percentage is an issue, though. 289. You know how many times he's walked, Ray?
Not enough.
8.
Oh, wow. 8?
Can't even lie to you.
Oh, no.
I'm double checking. I'm triple checking. 8.
That's not good.
He's walked 8 times and struck out 80. I'm going to quadruple check because that just doesn't even sound right.
Typo.
But the league stats that we get are never wrong. 8 walks and 80 strikeouts.
How many base hits bunting? Shows. I mean, it should be bunting and walking at this speed. There we go.
Yeah, jinxed it. That really is hard to believe, though. He's had 546 at bats.
That's not good. Going for the slider, try to strike him out with a slider down and in.
Stop it. You know what? That's on me, Ray. I'm going to raise my hand, and I'm going to take full responsibility for that.
You know what? You know, guys go down the end of the season. They try to get to 100 ribbies. They try to get to 30, 40 home runs. He's trying to get to double figures and
trying
walks.
to get to 10.
To walks. No, that's hard to believe. Well, Luke gets to throw him out now. You know, because he's probably an attempt to steal. You got a couple of right-handed batters in Haniger and Segura coming up. And I would say that he'll run sooner than later.
Haniger hit a fly ball to right field, so the A's will keep a close eye on Gordon.
You know, if that was a 3-2 slider and saw Luke go put the 3 down, which would indicate it was a slider, it was almost like a changeup. Didn't really break sharply and did not throw with a lot of conviction. Now see, he's at 91 ribbies. He's going for 9 more.
Yep.
This last 7 games for them.
That's the first pitch in their first strike. Haniger was an all-star this year, very well deserved. He's got 37 doubles, 4 triples to go with his 26 home runs.
That's a pretty potent leadoff hitter. Can do that. Changed his swing a little bit, and it's worked well for him.
Toward Chapman, but foul.
See, the longer Dee Gordon waits before he runs, already the better it is for Mingden and Lucroy. I figure with 2 strikes, and Mingden perhaps might throw something off speed. You might see Gordon run because of that. And I would think with his speed that he would be running a lot sooner than this. That's impressive. Only caught stealing 11 times. Remember, he tried to bunt on that Chapman. That didn't work.
Last year with the Marlins, he had 60 steals in 158 games. This is game number 139 for Gordon. He's got 30 steals. So the stolen base total, although it's pretty good, it's down from last year a lot. And it's a high pop-up and be just below us.
That would have been nice to get an hour on that quick pitch, because really changed his delivery. Mingden did with a quick slide step, thinking that Gordon might be running, so he was helping his catcher with a slide step and a quick pitch. Thing that Lucroy does so well, as we have seen, quick footwork, comes out from behind the plate. Of course, for the right-hander, he can see if Gordon is going to run, which helps. Doesn't have to worry about somebody yelling if it's a left-handed hitter.
2, Gordon runs. Lucroy's throw is a good one. Got it.
You know what? That's like a pitch up. Okay. So he hits a home run. He throws out the fastest guy in the American League. So what a night so far for Jonathan Lucroy. But if you look at this pitch, look at the jump and the pitch. I mean, that is perfect, and especially with the quickness that Jonathan Lucroy displays with the footwork and the quick release. And as he said, I don't have a cannon, so I have to make up for it with the quick footwork and the release, and he did it perfectly. Man, that was outstanding.
Haniger's able to check his swing.
Do you know what I think? I think a lot is you see the 80 assists. Of course, that's assists would be throwing out base runners in addition to strike out, blocking the ball, and throwing the hitter out at first base.
The 2 pitch is looped foul back just behind the Mariners dugout.
You know, the one thing, Cap, about what Jonathan Lucroy did on that pitch, and really you have to commend what Mingden did at his pitch. Sometimes catchers don't like pitch outs because you have to hope the pitcher makes a good throw, and the catcher has the timing running out of the batter's box, and that has to work. Sometimes you get stolen bases on that, but what he did, he got a pitch similar to a pitch out, but he was able to stay behind the plate and behind the ball instead of having to go out and get it and hoping for a good pitch.
Swing and a miss, he struck him out. 5 strikeouts for Daniel Mingden. And Jonathan Lucroy, picture perfect, throws out Dee Gordon.
NBC Sports California is brought to you by the Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid, America's first hybrid minivan. Test drive one today.
Beautiful night here in Seattle. A little cool but comfortable. 1-1 game between the A's and the Mariners. Jed Lowrie leading things on. The A's are 94-62 on the year. Their road record is very good. It's 44-31. That's the fourth best road record in the American League. Of course, they'll finish the regular season in Anaheim with a 3-game series. The Astros have the best road record, 52-22. The Red Sox, the Braves, and the Athletics. Again, that's not just American League. That's in all of Major League Baseball. Dodgers are 5th. And the first 4 are all in the postseason, and the Dodgers have a pretty good chance. That one's belted. Left field, and that baby's gone. 22nd home run for Lowrie, and now the A's have a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, but I was just getting ready to say, we talked about Haniger needing 9 ribbies for 100, but Jed Lowrie needed 6 opening and started this game. Now he needs 5 with this fastball crushed on his 22nd home run. But the elevation of the fastballs by the skipper just said that's gone, and it was gone. It sounded just like Robinson's Cano's home run, and just like Jonathan Lucroy's. The sound has been tremendous. This one again in the A's, or to the left of the A's bullpen.
So a couple of solo shots, part of the road offense this year. It's been a story. 125 home runs in 76 games. Most home runs, most road home runs in the big leagues. Over 4.5 runs per game. It's been interesting to see. They have clearly been a much better offensive team on the road than at home. And you can, I guess, go to the initial thought is that, well, the Coliseum's a tough place to hit. But I mean, the A's proved last year that they're going to hit the ball at the ballpark wherever they are. I think just one of those seasons.
You know, and that's why we were talking in open and to the guys back in the studio that sure, you'd love to play at the Coliseum for the wild card if that's going to be the game, but I don't think it's going to affect them if they're going to. And I think tonight's a perfect example, and the road record's a perfect example. Edwin Jackson and Jed Lowrie having a little conversation. Hey, Edwin Jackson has been a nice addition to this club. His enthusiasm, his desire to play and to win.
Hey, Dallas, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well, gentlemen.
Welcome.
Doing well. Showed up just in time for the long ball.
Yeah, you know what? You know what? You jumped on a plane right when the Rays lost, and it was a high-speed jet that got you here quickly because you wanted to be here to party with us.
I can't deny any bit of that. I can't do it. There was a nice little celebration. I got to say, when I landed, as we're walking through, folks were catching wind that the Rays had lost, and it was a good time.
Well, we're glad you're here. You got your spot right outside the A's dugout. You're set. It looks like you're warm with your hoodie.
I am.
So we're glad you're here, and we're glad you made it. I know you had a busy day, but we're glad you're here.
Yes, good to be here. Good to be here, gentlemen.
Okay, there's Dallas's setup. There he is. Very close to the possible celebration site. Just got a wall to hurdle there, big boy, and you'll be ready to go.
Yeah, I could very well be collateral damage.
In more ways than one.
Yes.
Well, actually, all you have to do is go to the top step and be reminiscent of what Lou Wolf did in 2006 when the A's clinched the division. He was there shaking hands as the guys departed from the field up for the celebration. So maybe you could do that as well.
Yeah, I tell you, it's going to be good just to watch these guys. Just to watch these guys really, I think, enjoy the fruits of their labor. I sent out a tweet earlier today about how exciting it is for a team who really wasn't expected to achieve much in the season by way of a potential postseason performance or arrival, and here we are.
Well, Piscotty swung and missed at it. And, did that hit him? I think it hit him, but he swung and missed at it, which is a strikeout.
Well, it's coming into him. He does start to swing, and at that point it's a dead ball, because otherwise, if he swings it doesn't hit him, he can run to first. But also Mike Zunino probably would have caught it. See, Zunino wants to check with the first base umpire, and I think Ed Hickox knew the result before checking.
Here's Cano. Yeah, that's the ultimate. I'm really hacked off as a hitter when you swing at a pitch and miss it, and then it hits you.
Well, he's happy it's dark. He doesn't have to worry about the play that he almost occurred in the first inning when lost it initially.
0-2 count to Mark Cannon, who grounded out to short to end the second inning.
I'll tell you, as a pitcher, that is a clip that will go in the highlight reel anytime you're able to bury a slider like that towards the back foot and it ends up taking a pound of flesh from the hitter, and you get the punch out.
Hit hard right to Cano. Cano will trot to first, and that will do it for the A's, but they take the lead. Jed Lowrie's 22nd home run of the year. Here it is. Leaving the yard. Bottom of the fourth coming up. A's leading 2-1.
Net. Experience incredible HR today.
Yeah, this was Dallas Braden getting to the ballpark, and you don't realize it, but he is shooting that with his phone. He said, I got to get to the game. You got to just do what you got to do.
My cheeks are a little windblown.
Segura to lead it off against Daniel Migden. Segura grounded out in the first inning. So Dallas, I want to get your thoughts and Ray's thoughts on how this season kind of unfolded for the A's. Look at some of the other teams. You knew the Red Sox were going to be good. Of course, the Astros, they knew they were going to be good. The Indians. These teams have a pretty good idea that they're going to roll along. But with the A's, if you think about up until that famous date of June 16th, the A's were just kind of hanging around, right at a couple of games under 500. And none of us were really sure what the A's had. And then June hit, and they got hot. Cano with a running catch. And once they got hot, you're like, well, this is a nice little streak. Now they're going to climb over 500 a little bit, but they never stopped being hot. Since June 16th, Dallas, the A's longest losing streak is 3, and that was just one time. It was the 3 losses in Colorado. That's it. So it just seems like they started gaining momentum, and then they just never slowed down after they got hot in the middle of June.
Well, and I had talked about how I felt like if you just sat back and you had watched this club from the onset of spring training up until that date that you, Kipe, had so just magically nailed on the calendar, you realized that this was a team and a group poised for progression. And again, I think that is exactly what we saw unfold. And I think by virtue of opportunity as well, the rotation and the hits that the rotation took opened up some opportunities, but collectively, this is a group that just got better. Foss, you've mentioned the progression for KD at the plate and the way he's not only hit for the power production that we've seen and fallen in love with and come to know, but the average as well. And while it's not a number that
Piscotty hustling over, he'll get there.
Well, it's not a number that jumps out at you. It's not a 300, but when you combine his power and the average, you'll take that all day and twice on Sunday. And Matt Chapman as well, after the break, has just been a beast, has been a monster. And I think collectively the group together has gotten better. And that's the reason they haven't cooled off or stayed hot, is because they're just better than they were from the first pitch of the season.
If you look also at the lineup of the Athletics, and we talked about the lack of health for the starting pitchers because of Tommy John surgeries, so many injuries to a lot of the pitchers, and we'll continue this in the top of the 5th inning.
So it's a quick inning for Daniel Migden, couple of fly balls and a ground out. Ray, you got it when we come back, buddy.
A's Baseball on NBC Sports California is brought to you by the Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid, America's first hybrid minivan. Test drive one today.
That's the Space Needle, one of the, well, you can't miss it, especially when you fly in. Lots of A's fans in the building tonight, and they're celebrating. Why not? A's are in the postseason. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and smog experts. Chasen Bradford comes in for his 44th appearance. He's got 5 wins, no losses, and his ERA 3.33. So he takes over for James Paxton.
You know, watching Paxton, and of course, as reported in the local papers, is he was coming off pneumonia. He wanted to start tonight and start again before the season ends, but you could see how he started to elevate his pitches. The off-speed pitch to Jonathan Lucroy, and then the fastball to Jed Lowrie that he crushed for a solo home run. The 2 home runs allowed, 5 strikeouts, no walks, but it just seemed like maybe it got to him. You know, the weakness, if you will, because he was dealing, especially with Matt Olson. He retired the first 8 batters and had 4 strikeouts in the first 8 before Lucroy hit the home run and Laureano the base hit. Then all of a sudden, at the top of last inning, another home run by Jed Lowrie, and he's trailing 2-1.
So 3-0 to Olson. The shift down. Olson takes low, and that's what. So, Ray, finish your thought on how this season has unfolded for you.
You know, I think first and foremost, the addition of Familia and Rodney, and what Trinan has done, and what the back end of the bullpen and the bullpen in general, all those games in Texas that the bullpen contributed. But I think the lineup and what Laureano has done since he joined the club, Piscotty in right field. You look at the infield, they've all stayed. Jonathan Lucroy behind the plate. Fegley came up. Really, left field's the only platoon right now, if you think about it. But when Chapman, as you just saw, went on the disabled list, and let's not forget that Jed Lowrie went to the skipper and said, I'll play third. And that way Barreto can play second. You know, unselfish. I mean, he's a free agent after this year, but he said, I'll play third. So everything started working, but I think the fact that the position players have stayed healthy and that you're now down to really just one platoon, I think that makes it pretty special. And I can't see anything out of the ordinary happening this last week where you cannot go into postseason with that same lineup. And, you know, what these kids have learned with Chapman at third and Olson at first, you know, both should win Gold Gloves. Whether that will happen remains to be seen. But defense has improved. There's just a lot of things improved with this ball club.
Very high to right field where Ben Gamel waits. Yeah, it's been interesting. The rotation has taken such a beating injury-wise, but the lineup has been able to go out there just about every day, especially the infield.
That's a great note.
Yep. Yeah. Matt Olson has 148. This is starts. Yeah. Jed Lowrie 129, Simeon 153, and Matt Chapman 140.
That's a great note. I mean, you don't think about those numbers, but if you think about this course of a season and how they have started and played and stayed healthy, thank God. I mean, you know, that allows the manager, Bob Belvin, to position them at their normal position. It's just a matter of where they're going to hit the lineup.
Yeah, and those numbers right there that you looked at, you saw the numbers for Lowrie. What they didn't include were the numbers when Lowrie played third base.
Exactly. Yeah.
So Matt Chapman's the only infielder, correct me if I'm wrong, that has been on the disabled list. And he was not on for a real long time. So these have, position player-wise, remained pretty healthy. Jonathan Lucroy rolls it into left field for a base hit, so a good start for the A's here in the top of the 5th.
Lucroy, have yourself a night, my friend. Well, got off on the heater from the lefty earlier in the evening. A little off-speed pitch away. Luke able to get out in front and hook this thing right through the 6th hole. See there, get the top hand involved. Like to see, again, Jonathan Lucroy and guys towards the bottom of the lineup continue to produce. And I think, Foss, that continues to speak to the point you just made about guys becoming better in their overall approaches. And when we think about that number, that entire infield put together. You talk about opportunities to gel, to mesh as a club, as a unit, and the cohesiveness.
That's a great point, because I can think of the Dodgers and the Orioles, two teams that had the same first all the way around the infield, and every step they made, they knew exactly what they were going to do because they were together for so many years and played every day, and that makes a huge difference. And now you add the shifts on top of it and what these guys have to do to find out who's covering, and especially up the middle.
Yep.
Gordon's got it. Out at second. The throw to first is not in time. So it'll be a fielder's choice. A's have runners at the corners.
And that right there says about Ramon Laureano. He runs hard. He coasted through the bag. That is hit hard enough that in a lot of cases it's going to be a 4-6-3 double play. But his hustle, Laureano, it makes it first and third with 2 outs. Watch him out of the box. I mean, this is his sprint. This is a sprint all the way, and then he coasts through the bag. I mean, that was not just a soft hit ball. It was hard hit right to the second baseman. I think maybe the Mariners thought it was going to be an easy 4-6-3 double play. Or at least one guy at second. The guy walked.
So here's Chapman with a chance to knock in a run. Wilson at third. Chapman, a couple of fly balls in the ball game. Off-speed pitch on 2-0.
Guys, I can tell you a quick little story here. As I sit here in the camera well, I'm able to eavesdrop on a beautiful conversation between father and son, Mariner fans, and they're talking about Matt Chapman. And the little boy is just talking about how I really like Matt Chapman. I see him on the highlight reel. I think he's got to be one of the best. And his dad's telling him, yeah, and pay attention right here because he could be sitting dead red, which means he's looking for a fastball. And you can see the little boy, you can feel the energy get excited, creep towards the edge of his seat. So you wonder what sort of impact this club has had, not only in Oakland, but across the landscape of baseball. You're hearing it all the way up here in the Pacific Northwest.
It sounds like Dad's doing a good job. Yeah. 2-2 the count. And it's grounded to Cano. Makes a nice backhanded play, steps on the bag. Side retired. So the A's strand a couple of runners, and we're on to the bottom of the fifth. A's leading 2-1. Customers say, show me the Oakland A's in your X1 voice remote and get live stats on your TV. Change the way you experience TV with Xfinity X1. Yeah. Uh-huh.
I think I may go find him in a little bit.
That's a pretty good effort by that guy. Champagne bottles. Well, they're on ice. They're going to get used tonight no matter what the outcome of this game is. They were on ice yesterday at the Coliseum, but the plastic got torn out.
Yep.
And the Mariners visiting clubhouse guy said, are you serious?
Yeah, Jeff Buff was not too happy. But, you know, at least tonight he knows, and Steve Vucinich down there, they can start planning because they know.
They know, that's true.
It's going to happen tonight, and you know, they can maybe put a lot of plastic down on the floor so the carpet doesn't get soaked.
I mean, yesterday, Steve Vucinich said it's a hectic day.
Yes, it is.
Because you got to be ready to go, and then.
Yeah, he said what? In the bottom of the 8th, they took the plastic down. Yeah, figured that. Yeah, you know, it's because
then if there's a rally going, you got to be ready.
Wow, but that's fine. They can put it up fast, but you know, you never want to have it up and then walk in and people say, hey, you just lost and it's up there. So no, Bruce has been around long enough to know how to handle that.
Well, it was interesting talking to him. He said, yeah, you know, we talked about should we put plastic on the floor,
right,
which a lot of times that's what you would do.
Right.
But then he said, but we knew there wasn't going to be a game the next day.
Right.
So didn't have to put plastic down. You just got to get somebody in there to clean the rug quickly.
Well, if you leave town, you don't have to worry about it. Janitorial service and take over. See you in a week.
0-2 to Denard Span. It's an off Migden. He goes down. It goes right to Olsen, who steps on the bag, and Migden is down. So it looks like they're looking at maybe his right foot. Let's take a look. Watch the right foot. Oh, that is a pretty direct shot. I don't think it even hit the ground. Outside of the right foot toe area.
We got that at 90 miles an hour off the bat.
All right, so he's up. That's good news. Tough guy.
Remember, this is not the first time it's happened.
That's right.
Well, the encouraging part about that is that Olsen's laughing.
Well, I have a feeling Migden may have said something that caused everybody to chuckle a little bit.
Well, he went down, and after this, and you're going to see it in slow motion, right foot follows through. It's right on the side of the foot. Carry him straight over to Matt Olsen, who stepped on the bag, and then Brian Shulman, one of the A's trainers, went sprinting out to him. You know, he's pitching so well, and he loves the opportunity to start.
So it's his right leg.
It's push off. It's push off foot. This is unbelievable.
So he's going to toss a few, see if he's okay.
Well, as long as he gets the feeling back, that's the main thing, and you don't want to hurt something else pushing off. See, Skip, I'm okay.
He's good. He's staying in.
You know, we showed earlier about Jonathan Lucroy, all those assists. That's an assist for Daniel Mingden. Not the kind you like to have,
That is an
though.
assist, yeah.
It's an assist.
It's an NG assist, no glove.
That's right. So that's your basic 1-3 put out.
There you go. Fielding percentage.
Wow.
So I'm glad he's all right. Good airtime for Brian Shulman.
Hey, take it. Hey, if Daniel Mingden can get through 2 innings, the skipper might say, hey, you've got 5, you qualify, hold on and see what the bullpen can do, and we'll get some ice on it.
First pitch, off speed, drops in for a strike to Kyle Seager.
In the time that he was hit before, he stayed in the game and made an errant throw to first base and ended up suffering the loss. But he's unbelievable the way he stays in the game.
Lofted to shallow center. Laureano hustling in right center. And he's got it. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. A's leading 2-1. A couple of solo home runs. Lucroy in the 3rd, Lowrie in the 4th.
Remember last year, we were at FanFest a year ago this spring, and he was fine. And then all of a sudden he comes to spring training, he's in a walking boot. Well, they found out doing some conditioning that he'd had like a stress fracture in his foot, and it finally just snapped on him. That's why it was broken. But he said he'd been pitching that way for as long as he can remember, and nothing would ever surface, but he knew that there was something wrong, and it finally did happen. So he's gone through a number of things, but I don't know that anybody in that position could continue to pitch the way he does and pitch so well.
He's doing a good job tonight. He's got 5 strikeouts. He's walked 1. He's only allowed 1 hit, and that was the home run.
And that was the 3rd batter of the game, and he had a walk to Gordon. Jonathan Lucroy threw him out.
Chopped in the hole. Simeon's got it. Plants his foot. Throws. Nice play by Marcus Semien. And that is 7 in a row retired by Daniel Mingden. 2-1 A's after 5. Timeless moment. Here you go, Ray. September 26th of 2006. The A's clinched their 14th AL West title right here at Safeco Field. They did it with a 12-3 victory over the Mariners. Big night for that guy, Jason Kendall. He's a pretty darn good team.
That's right.
Back in 2006.
Mark Kotsay, who was on the bench tonight, one of the coaches, and Lou Wolf, the managing general partner, was there, and the celebration began. 2006.
Look out. Well, that's going to happen tonight here at Safeco Field. But I think it's a little more fun to celebrate it after a win.
Yeah.
A's will try to do that, leading 2-1. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. So Adam Warren comes in. So Jason Bradford throws 1 inning after Paxton threw 4, and now it's Warren.
Well, 2012, we'll remember that final day, but the game 160 when the A's clinched the wild card in the celebration. Never forget what the skipper Bob Melvin said, what are you going to do about tomorrow? And he said Chip Hale will take care of that. And Chip Hale, who's now with the Washington Nationals, and too bad they were eliminated, but the gamer, the real gamer, and Chip Hale got him ready, and Travis Blackney pitched on Tuesday and won, and A's won on Wednesday. And the A's ended up winning the division with 1 day leading.
Lowrie, Davis, and Piscotty here in the 6th inning. Home run for Jed Lowrie in the 4th. So he's got 22 homers and 95 RBIs.
Well, he can get one from the left side. He's done it from the right side against Paxton. That was last inning that Paxton, he gave up the leadoff home run to Jed Lowrie in that inning.
Lowrie checks his swing on a pitch that was in the dirt. How about we go back to 2014, the last time the A's went to the postseason before this year.
Sonny Gray, a 4-0 shutout.
It's Jake Smolinski. And that did it. The A's had to wait a couple days.
Oh, didn't they?
They had to wait Friday night and Saturday night. They were keeping an eye on the Mariners. And I want to say the A's lost, and they needed the Mariners to lose, and the Mariners won. And we sat in the clubhouse and watched the Mariners, hoping that they would lose. One of those games went into extra innings, and we were waiting, and they finally won. And we waited till the final day, and then the A's wrapped up the wild card. Lowrie knew it as he strikes out.
Well, as it turned out in that 14 season, and if you remember, I think it was the next season in 15, that they decided to play all the games on Sunday the same time because the Mariners were playing here and Felix was on the mound, and once the A's posted their score, he finished the inning and that was it. And there's your postseason appearances. The Athletics 27. That's pretty important and special.
19 of those 27 have been in Oakland. A's have been a wild card, and like I said, that's where they're sitting right now. They still could win the division, but a little bit of a long shot. The A's were a wild card team in 2001, and then as we just showed you in 2014, and they have secured a wild card spot here in 2018.
Well, this is a special day, of course, for the A's currently, but in 1975, one of those 19 was celebrated at the Coliseum against the Chicago White Sox, and on this day, our daughter Nikki was born. So, Nikki, happy birthday. And that day clinched the Western Division for the 5th consecutive time. And tonight, going to postseason for the 27th time.
Did you double up on champagne?
Actually, I was at the hospital while Carol was having the birth of Nikki. I came to the park, got a bottle of champagne, went back to the hospital.
Yeah.
And I took off the catching gear, said, I'm out of here. So, no, I didn't double up.
I
got cigars.
I got a picture in my mind of you just walking right into the hospital, full gear, mask, shin guards, elbow guard, uniform dirty, eye black, pine tar.
Just won
Honey,
the division.
How's it going?
How do you feel? I feel good.
Carol, how you doing? Well, that's a good thing. That one is hit deep. Very deep, and that baby's gone. Another solo shot for the A's, and now they lead it 3-1. Number 46 for KD.
Spread it around, and that's why, I mean, this is a tough park to hit home runs, especially where he just went. That's a fastball that's really maybe out of the strike zone. Just ask Ken Griffey Jr. when he left the Kingdom and came here. This is not an easy park, but Khris Davis just made it small.
RBI number 120 for Khris Davis. MVP candidate. There's Piscotty. He swings and misses. So 3 solo shots for the A's.
Okay. Yeah. You wanted that extra straightaway center.
What's that?
You said in Oakland you need to spread those out. He's got 17 right
That's
field.
Right.
He needs one more to center. Yeah. There comes Steve Vucinich to say nice work, Katie. I was upstairs getting
I was upstairs till I heard the crack of the bat, and then I ran downstairs. We are so on to Voos even after all these years. We're just teasing Voos. He can do whatever he wants.
Yes, he does.
You know what? I like pepperoni and cheese. Large.
Bottle of Pinot Noir.
Yeah, Safeco Field.
Gonna need more champagne.
Yeah. You know what? Throw in some wings. Yeah, a little bird. Okay.
You know, there's plenty of phones up at the clubhouse, and he's got to walk all the way down onto the bench, take the whole stride down the bench so everybody can see him, get on the phone, and he's calling nobody.
Fake game face.
Look at it. He sees the camera.
You know what, though? Something's up. Like, they're
Fegley followed
looking
him.
for something.
I don't know.
Might be a bullpen phone issue.
Okay. So maybe he wasn't ordering pizza. We take it all back. Piscotty hits a towering fly ball to left toward Denard Span. So Span grabs it. So who has the most home runs in a season in athletics history? Well, Jimmy Fox hit 58 back in 1932. And Big Mac's on there a couple times. Jimmy Fox again. Reggie Jackson. And then Khris Davis. Reggie Jackson in 1969. Was that the season, Ray, where he hit a whole bunch in the first half?
Yeah, and didn't hit as many in the second half. He'd broken Roger Maris's record.
Marcana shoots one into right field for a base hit. Khris Davis moving up the list.
Well, Double X, Jimmy Fox was in Philadelphia. So as far as the Oakland Athletics, start with McGuire. He's got service going to the lefty.
All right, got a pitching change here in the 6th inning. Khris Davis' home run has given the A's a 3-1 lead. Average exit velocity in the American League. Aaron Judge, Joey Gallo, Nelson Cruz, Stanton, Cano. Olsen and Chapman are in the top 10. How about that? That's highest average exit velocity. So, Ray, every ball you hit, the exit velocity, average it out. Not too shabby.
Okay. And then thinking about the guy who just signed off yesterday, the Hawk, was his final game yesterday in Chicago. And you know what he said?
What?
He said, I would love to have known the exit velocity on balls that I hit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, we didn't
good.
have it. But, you know, it'd have been nice to know probably sometimes. But Hawk, we wish him the best. And his swan song yesterday, his final game in Chicago, was against the Cubbies. And as he simply said, and this game is over.
Yeah. He'll be missed. White Sox fans love Hawk.
Well, I tell you, even as a player, you pay attention to voices across the game, and you meet these individuals in the clubhouse when you show up into town, and you get to spend time with these guys. And Hawk Harrelson, I know for a lot of folks, was not only a fan favorite but a player favorite as well. And I fully appreciate the love and the passion he showed for his hometown team, unapologetically.
Absolutely.
And I loved every minute of it. Every minute of it.
At Homer, and he was proud of it.
Yes. and Foss, I couldn't I couldn't be more appreciative, like I said, of somebody who was so in love and still will be and will remain so in love with that club, with that organization, but with the game. A true keeper of the game.
0-2 pitch to Olsen, and he checks this one.
And
Dallas,
Hawk,
one of our favorite Hawk stories, and we didn't talk about it when we were in Chicago. Todd Frazier gets hurt in a game, and Hawk is worried about it. Frazier's out of the game. He goes in the clubhouse. During the game, Dallas, Hawk says to Steve Stone, "Stoney, take over. I'm going downstairs." Hey, he wanted to check on Todd Frazier.
That's right.
Well,
Who gets away with that? Nobody except him.
the Hawk.
Stoney,
That's
take
who.
over.
Well, and you know, we always talk about Messersmith and McNally, but Ken Hawk Harrelson was the first free agent. Charlie Finley let him go in '67. He released him. And he signed his free agent contract with the Boston Red Sox.
He would have been a pretty good guy to have on your early '70s teams, huh?
Yeah, well.
He would have fit right in.
Yeah. I was with him in Cleveland. I know, you're right.
2-2 the count to Olsen.
Actually, I probably would have been able to extend my career, but he'd say, hey, come over and throw batting practice to me on the back field at High Corbett Field. You know, he said, catchers of the four seam right over the top. You
Sounds
can do
like
it.
fun.
Yeah. But I did it.
Anybody going to throw to me? I'm Ray Fosse.
Hawk was good. And like Dallas said, he was passionate about his broadcasting. He did not care. He upset the opposing and said, grab some pine. Yeah, that's the ones got upset.
So Khris Davis, a home run, number 46 on the air, and the A's have a 3-1 lead on a night they're going to celebrate. So it's good to see Daniel Migden back out there. He was hit in the foot by a line drive off the bat at Denard Span last inning. And he recovered. Got a 3-up, 3-down inning. He's retired 7 in a row. And now he's got a 3-1 lead as he faces Zunino, Gordon, and Mitch Haniger. In for a strike, and it's a quick 0-2. 69 pitches so far for Daniel Migden. 1 hit. That was a home run by Robinson Cano. Got 5 strikeouts. Ball hold 5. Astros won earlier. They won in Toronto 5-3. Reddick homered. McCann homered. And Dallas Keuchel got his 12th win of the year. Keuchel 12-11. So for the Astros, that is their 99th win of the year. So the A's will just try to keep pace with the win tonight. The game we were watching, the Yankees beat the Rays 4-1 to eliminate the Rays and give the A's the postseason berth. Line drive toward the gap in left center. Nobody's going to get it. It'll roll all the way to the wall. So Zunino with a leadoff double here in the 6th inning, and that was kind of just a flat-out hanger.
Fans, in case you missed it, there's only one way to be first in line for postseason tickets. You can grab an A's Access membership and begin enjoying your discounts at the ballpark immediately. That's right. Join today and get all the perks for remaining September home games and postseason, including 50% off concessions, $4 domestic drafts, 25% off merchandise, and $10 parking passes. Learn more at athletics.com/2019 today. A's Access, every game your way.
Oakland A's, New York City. All right, so the A's sporting fans on the East Coast and across the Atlantic Ocean. 185 front office personnel from the Athletics here, way out in right field. They're enjoying this one. They just take over downtown Seattle tonight. 1-1 to Dee Gordon.
Yeah, Cap, that is the first pitch, non-strike pitch, since Cano in the 4th inning. He's thrown, and that's after getting hit. Ryan Buchter getting loose. But he had a line out by Cano, and then he went 5-3, 1-3, 8-6-3, the double, and then the first pitch to Gordon is a strike. So he is then quite well considering off his right foot, but Buchter getting loose, and you have to think hitting hit the way he did. Although can't wait to find out what he said that was so funny that everybody was laughing. But he had everybody chuckling, which is good because that had to mean everything was okay with his right foot.
Dee Gordon down the right field line. That's deep. It's trouble, and it is
off the top of the wall.
Wow. Dee Gordon with a home run, and just like that, this game is tied at 3.
You can see Piscotty going after it. It hit the top of the wall, but instead of coming back in play. Wow. That's a little slider cutter inside part of the plate, right in his wheelhouse. And that's where it hits, on top of the wall there. And instead of coming back, it went up. That's why Piscotty was hoping that it would come back, but the angle took it into the seats, and that quickly tied at 3. Maybe too many strikes.
So Dee Gordon, his 4th home run, couple of them have come against the A's, and now to the top of the order, Mitch Haniger. Well, the A's have hit 3 home runs. The Mariners have hit 2. runs in this game have come via the home run. Gordon, not a lot of power. Dropped the head on a breaking ball.
Well, he's the type of hitter that you want to pitch him in such a way that he has to try to hit it out to left center, right center. And if he tries to pull the ball, it'll be a pop-up instead of a line drive down in the corner. And especially with the pitch that he got, it was in the inner half of the plate, and all he had to do was drop the head, turn on it, go the shortest distance.
Pitch number 80 coming up from Migden. It's outside. 2-2 the count. Haniger has hit a fly ball to right field, and he has struck out. Toward Laureano, who trots in. So that is out number 1 here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Well, you have to wonder if Booker is up for Cano. Segura, and then it's Cano.
So got Span and Seager and Gamble after Cruz, 3 consecutive left-handed hitters. A little bit outside. Segura, ground out, and a fly ball to left field. Ryan Dole now. It's Booker. Segura with a base hit to left field. So 3 hits in the inning. Mariners had just 1 hit through the first 5 innings, and that's going to do it for Migden. So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and smog experts.
Four dealers, Daniel Migden starting tonight and did a very good job. Struck out of Nelson Cruz. That was early, and he was blowing guys away. Gave up just the home run to Robinson Cano in the first inning until this inning. But did a very good job striking out Haniger with a high fastball. Daniel, my brother, you were good tonight. Thank you, Hoodie. And he was good. But considering he got hit on the right foot, finished the 5th inning after the hard shot by Denard Span. But probably very disappointed now that they gave up a home run to a non-home run hitter.
So it'll be Booker to face Cano. Segura at first and 1 out. So Migden cannot get the win tonight. He could get a no decision. He could get a loss. Cano has homered and hit a fly ball to right field.
I think it says a lot about what Daniel Mingden did. He did finish the 5th inning after taking the ball off his foot.
And that one is driven to Piscotty, and getting Cano out right now is a big deal. He is red hot.
But the fact that Daniel Mingden, who could have said after the 5th inning, when he basically could have left with a lead and could have turned it over to the bullpen, instead he goes out for the 6th, which is this inning, and gives up a 2-strike double and a 2-1 home run, and it's a 3-3 game, and then he gives up a hit to Segura. So it'd be up to Buchter, who on a 1 pitch gets Cano and tries to get Cruz now.
Quiet night for Nelson Cruz. Cruz, a base hit to left field. Segura will stop at second, and that is 4 hits this inning by the Mariners. So Buchter retired Cano, the left-handed hitter, gives up a hit to Cruz, the right-handed hitter, and now he'll face Denard Span.
And you can maybe look back at this, say happy that it was just a single. That Chapman almost came up with it, did not leave his feet. But Nelson Cruz getting a base hit, you'd say fine if you can get Denard Span out and get back in the dugout, trailing or at least with the tie game.
The Mariners coming out aggressive against the lefty Buchter. Cano, first pitch. Nelly, first pitch.
See what Span does. He's 0 for 2. Span is the one who hit that line drive off of Mingden.
You see Lucroy check the ball there, looking for any sort of cut or scuff. That ball just cut and took off on Buchter and Lucroy.
Well, the bad part about that, good part is it moved. Bad part, they didn't know it. I mean, it's one thing to see a scuff and know how to use it.
There's a strike right on the outside corner to Denard Span. So Sean Kelly is up, loosening up.
The former Mariner.
He's been out there before, just a little bit closer to the line in the Mariners bullpen.
Yep.
Span always had a unique hitting style. Doesn't really stride much.
He's very quiet. He's very simple. And he's a guy that can battle. He's, bat to ball guy.
It takes forever to get set up. He's got to go through the same routine every time. Drop straight down. Right there. Fouls it back. Toe tap and go at it.
Well, and you watch his front hip. We pointed this out earlier on in the season. I noticed this very early for Denard Span. You watch that front hip, and he's going to set that hip pocket as Buchter starts to go through his motion, and that's to keep his weight on the backside, keep himself loaded. Forever evolving. You have to. This game will humble you if you do not. So just watch that front hip.
Quick pitch. That's what he does.
Unique. So he starts with his weight on his front leg, but then moves, slides back, and he's ready to hit there.
And you hear guys talk about a 60-40 lean, where initially they'll start with 60% of their weight on that front foot, and as the as the pitcher starts through that motion, they'll transfer that weight back, and it's just to create some fluidity and rhythm in their approach. It's not for everybody, a la the leg kick or the toe tap, just about being comfortable.
pitch is high. So now a full count. That will get Segura and Cruz moving.
One thing we always talk about is the success that Seager has had against lefties, and he's the on-deck circle.
So Olsen moves back. He will not hold Cruz on. Strike 3 call, a fastball on the outside corner. So Buchter strikes out Span, but a couple of runs for the Mariners on a 2-run homer by Dee Gordon. 7th inning coming up. We're tied at 3.
Mobile. How about Jonathan Lucroy against James Paxton? Off speed, home run number 4 on the season, career number 100 for Jonathan Lucroy. That would tie the game, and with Dee Gordon at first, a perfect throw to second to Jed Lowrie to nail him. And Jonathan Lucroy, a good night. Also came up with a single his last at bat. He will be hitting second in this inning. Both Bob Melvin and Scott Service, 2 former catchers, managing this game like it is the 7th game of the World Series. And Scott Service, where they'd like to have finished, is where Bob Melvin is, and that's postseason. But Bob Melvin also knows the Yankees have won, the Astros have won, wants to keep trying to win.
So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and smog experts. It's Sean Armstrong, the right-hander. He is pitcher number 5. As he faces Marcus Semien, who swings at the first pitch and pops it up. Zunino may have a play, and he does. A's on deck circle.
Well, A's fans, this is it. Purchase your single game tickets to potential wild card and American League Division Series home games beginning on Friday, September the 28th at 9 a.m. Even better, if you join A's Access today, you get to jump the line for a wild card and ALDS pre-sale opportunity starting on Thursday, September the 27th. That's this Thursday. Plus, you can save up to 20% on ALCS and World Series seats. Mark your calendars today. That's a great deal. Wow. Save up to 20% on ALCS and World Series seats. That's good. It's bad. Getting hit is bad. Wow. See what happens when you hit a home run and get a single and throw out a base runner? Take a heater.
Yeah, I just never understand why catchers don't wear their gear up to the plate, Foss. I don't, why you guys.
He's not happy.
Yeah, he is not.
He is not happy. And the problem, when you get a catcher, the catcher can call the signs. Not that he will. He'd just like to score the go-ahead run.
So he is the one-out baseman. Laureano taps it slowly. It's going to be a tough play. Throw to first in time. Segura ends up halfway between the pitcher's mound and home plate. That was a very nice play by the Mariners shortstop. And he was out. So good play and a good call at first.
Well, you have a foul ball to the catcher, hit batter, and a 6-3. 4 pitches thrown by Armstrong in this inning. 3 pitches to 3 batters. Did I say 4? It's 3. This will be the 4th coming up to Matt Chapman. See if he can get a base hit and he'll take the lead.
Chapman is 0 for 3. First pitch, slider down and away. That's Fernando Rodney, former Mariner. Chapman drills one. Center field. Haniger back. And that baby's gone. Chapman a 2-run homer. And the A's lead 5-3.
Fourth home run for the Athletics and for Matt Chapman. Jonathan Lucroy hit, and it's like Matt Chapman said, I'll take care of you. And look at this shot. Straight away, 91, and Matt Chapman is as strong as there is. And it sounded great off his bat. Straight away center field, just like Khris Davis. And this ball just kept going over the 401 and into foliage out in center field. That was a shot. 24 home runs. Gold Glove third baseman. Power position. Look at what he has done with 24. And Matt Olson with 28. 52 for your corner infielders. That's pretty special.
Here's Lowrie. He homered in the 4th inning. So the A's have hit 4 home runs tonight, giving them 218 on the year.
Boy, they've all sounded like home runs too.
That one probably the most of all of them. It was almost one of those high line drives.
Well, it sounds like a shotgun blast is what it sounds like when you're down here on field level, and you can see the balance and the power transfer from Chappie.
68 RBIs now for Matt Chapman. Home runs continue to be the story tonight for both teams.
Well, Dee Gordon, a 2-run home run. Matt Chapman matched him with a 2-run, and that's what makes it nice. Mark Kotze with some postseason experience between the two Mets. Kotze with the inside the park home run in Minnesota in the Division Series in 2006.
So Lowrie with the walk. Sometimes you just hang out with the staff, you know?
Yeah. Well, Matt Chapman's always by the skipper. I mean, if he's out of the game like he was the 2 games against the Angels, he sat down right next to Bob Melvin. Of course, right there, he's between Kotze, Emo, the skipper, and Ryan Christensen, all 4 of the guys there. Why not? You learn a lot.
Well, that's it. That's a great sign. And if you're a fan, think about Matt Chapman being groomed for the future, being groomed as a cornerstone player for this franchise. And you're absolutely right. What better spot to be than nestled right amidst all of that baseball intellect?
Davis, a mighty swing. There's your A's home run leaders. Davis 46, Olson 28, Piscotty, Chapman, Lowrie. That's just home runs. You start talking about doubles.
There you go. Burn it in.
That's good.
Burn it in.
bunch of guys with 30 or more doubles. A's are second in the league in doubles and second in the league in home runs. It's quite an offense, deep lineup. This inning started with a one-out hit by pitch by Lucroy, and he scores on Chapman's home run.
Come on, baby.
Davis reaches for it. Pops a little foul.
The A's have hit 4 home runs in a game. Several times, twice they've hit 5 home runs in a game. And when Jonathan Lucroy hits one that's his 100th, I was talking to Mike Zunino at home plate after Chapman's home run, and he was standing at home plate waiting to congratulate him. Just wondering what that conversation was about.
So Khris Davis called out on strikes. Another home run for the A's. 2-run shot by that man, Matt Chapman. 7th inning stretch time from Safeco Field in Seattle. And the A's are leading it 5-3.
Sports California is brought to you by Toyota. Designed for the grind that comes through every time. See your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. By Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by Xfinity. X1 will change the way you experience TV.
So Matt Chapman's home run, a 2-run shot in the top of the inning, gives the A's the 5-3 lead over the Mariners. And he's going to have a little chat with Scott Brocious, the third base coach from the Mariners. And we're going to tell you that Fernando Rodney comes into the game.
Scott Brocious is a good third baseman, too.
Pretty good, yeah.
Big home run hitter for the New York Yankees and Athletics, who traded him to the Yankees. Fernando Rodney coming on and trying to maybe be the 7th inning and maybe Familia and then maybe Trinan to close out what the A's would hope would be their 95th one of the season and stay a game and a half behind the Yankees for the first wild card.
So Rodney will face Seager, Gamble, and Zunino. First pitch is a strike. Kyle Seager with the strikeout and a fly ball to center field in the ball game. A little bit of a down year, hitting just .220 is Seager. On base percentage of .272. Fernando Rodney was a Seattle Mariner for 2 years. Well, actually, a year and a half. He was here in 2014, and he had 48 saves. He was here in 2015, He had 16 saves, and then he was traded mid-season to the Cubs. So he has spent time as a Seattle Mariner. Most saves in a season in Seattle Mariners history. Rodney's second. And when Diaz broke, he flew right past 48. Yeah. But it was a good season for Fernando Rodney. Rodney's been with the Tigers, the Angels, the Rays, the Mariners, the Cubs, the Padres, the Marlins, the Diamondbacks, and now the A's.
When you think about that resume that you just mentioned, the success of a team like the A's, who have found themselves in the position they're in, doesn't occur without guys like Fernando Rodney, tried, true, tested, accepting of a game plan of how this club is going to go about taking those W's. And he's a prime example of give me the ball and let me get outs.
Speaking of outs, this one lifted to Cano in left field, and he's got it.
Fans, maybe you have seen them. Our 50 life-size stomper statues throughout Oakland, designed by local artists. Well, now's your time to own one. That's right. They are for sale, and we will transport them for free to their new homes. Pick out the statue that works for you or your group. Proceeds benefit the Oakland A's Community Fund. Take a look and pick out your stomper at athletics.com/SITT. That's athletics.com/SITT.
First pitch to Ben Gamble, just a touch low.
That house PA announcer was given the line for Ryan Butcher.
Ryan Butcher? We know him as Ryan Buchter.
He's not been a butcher for the A's, I know that. He's been good.
Marcus Semien has it, straightens up, throws to first, and Olsen dug it out. Kidding me, Matt Olsen?
Well, that's a scooper for you right there. He is top of the list when it comes to being the scooper.
You got it, boss. He is dressing it up all year on the back end, but let's start with Marcus Semien. Little backhand bonanza action deep into the 6-hole. Plants that back foot, comes up firing, and Ole, the big lanky fella over there on the back end. Little scoopage.
And sit down, Mr. Gamble, because you're out. 54 scoops of ice cream. Ho, ho, ho. Eric Hosmer with 42, Justin Smoke 40. Big Ole's well ahead of the boys. That is a great play. Also great for Marcus Semien to use the turf, because he had to hurry in. That is a special play because you get it there quicker, and especially got somebody who could scoop it like Ole.
So 2 away here in the 7th. Zunino, he's going to get this one. It's a base hit into left field. Mike Zunino is 2 for 3. Well, scoops are just, the flashy part of defense, but remember the A's the first couple months, Ray, they really kind of scuffled defensively.
Yeah.
I mean, they weren't a bad defensive team, but they were making a fair amount of errors. But man, have they straightened that out to the point where they are now 6th in the league in team fielding.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
It's outstanding considering, just what Marcus Semien alone has done, and perhaps with Matt Chapman next to him, and same at first base and second base. Shooty was talking about that with Brody, about how you add a couple of solid pieces and it helps everybody. And we talked about the number of games started by the infielders. While you add defense on top of that, but by playing together, they're able to know what each other's doing. They kind of feed off each other, and they have done an exceptional job all around the infield.
And Jed Lowrie's made a total of 4 errors. So you're saying it's not a coincidence. I mean, they're all talented players, obviously, the 4 infielders, but it's not a coincidence that they have gotten better as the year has gone on, because as we showed you earlier in the graphic, they've been out there together.
Absolutely. They have been together. And if you think about all season, Semien never takes a day off.
Lowrie scoops, throws in time, side retired. Terrific play by Marcus Semien, and even more so by Matt Olsen. The Sharks, a group of returning All-Stars and newly acquired Erik Karlsson. Sharks hockey returns October 5th to NBC Sports, California. Here in Seattle, the A's leading the Mariners 5-3. It's the top of the 8th inning. And the new pitcher for Seattle is a right-hander by the name of Casey Lawrence. 10th game for Lawrence. So he is pitcher number 6 for Seattle. So Matt Joyce has come out into the on-deck circle. That's Mark Canha's spot. Piscotty's 0 for 3. Tries to hold up. Can't do it. He went around. That's Gabe Morales, the first base umpire. Gary's Familia starts to throw out in the A's bullpen in deep left center field. Base hit left field. So Piscotty has his first hit. That's the 8th hit for the A's.
Again, Stephen Piscotty continuing to put together great ABs, patient at bats. He's grinded at bats out all year long. But I think what we've seen as recently as the past few series, he's adjusted to hitting that breaking ball. He's done a good job of keeping that bat in the zone a long time. He's pulled some breaking balls down the line hard. Last series against Minnesota.
So here's Matt Joyce, who takes the first pitch low. So Joyce hitting for Cano. Mark Cano was 1 for 3 in his time in the game. 6 for 22 as a pinch hitter this year. And now he's sitting at a 2-0 count. Matt Joyce, a veteran. He's been to postseason before, was postseason with the Rays. He's got a base hit left field. Maybe off the end of that a little bit. He'll take it.
That feels good for him because lower back problem on the disabled list until the September 1st, and got to increase the rosters. So he gets a nice base hit. You're right off the end of the bat, maybe out of the strike zone, but still going opposite field, which makes it pretty special to take that opposite field shot when they're playing him to pull.
So 2 on, nobody out. A's looking for some insurance runs here in the 8th inning as Matt Olson steps up.
Well, the good thing for Matt Joyce as well is, you come into the stretch of the season feeling better, feeling good enough to play. You get the opportunity to get back out there and knock some of that rust off headed into the postseason. It's a huge boost for the confidence to know that the way that you're feeling correlates with your ability to go out and actually produce on the field.
And I wonder too, Dallas and Ray, your thoughts on this, if maybe the A's, you're going to have to start making postseason roster decisions. I would think there would have to be a decision made on Matt Joyce.
Well, I think the
You
first
have outfielders.
The first round is going to be interesting because you don't need as many pitchers. Just because you can change, get through the wild card, and maybe they take more position players and less pitchers. I mean, if they're going to start a starter and then use bullpen, then maybe the other starters, unless they're capable of pitching out of the bullpen, maybe those are the ones that maybe they'll pull the Houston Astros and do it. I don't know, but I just think because you can change the roster each series, and you got one game.
Matt Olson said it hit him. And Hickok said no, it did not. The A's are deciding whether they want to look at it, and they do want to look at it. Meadows said it hit me in the foot.
And this is what they're going to look at.
Well, that's going to be a tough one to.
Yeah,
Well, it did. There, yeah, that's a good call there. You could see the ball.
Yeah, if you slow it down at that angle, yeah.
And that's the thing, is I think it would have to be slowed down, because if this is a breaking ball, which it was, we know, and Foss, you would know as well as anybody, that that's the way that this ball is going to kick from a righty. It's going to kick back towards the backhand of the catcher.
Yeah, I want you to catch it after it hits the left toe. It moves it back and it goes right to him. You're right. And it's, while he moved back, it still got him.
Yeah.
The other angle probably shows it the best, the higher, and plus Matt Olson, as the hitter, knows better than anybody. Left foot.
Tough to tell there.
Yeah, that angle is just not as friendly. Yeah, that overhead angle gives you a good look.
See what Ryan Christensen just did the same thing that you're talking about right there. It came back and changed direction. If it did not hit him, it would keep going to the right of Zunino in that upper shot. But it kicked back. The late Vada Pinson used to polish his own shoes, okay, because he wanted enough polish on there to show it.
Well,
white shoes not going to work.
Yeah, white polish.
No,
probably
white shoes don't work it, but
live.
black shoes, yes.
But the old black spot built you guys used to wear. Now those
That's
babies. Dallas, you don't even know what a spot built is, do you?
No, but I tell you
Come
what,
on.
from going to American River Junior College under longtime Staten Island Yankee hitting instructor, longtime Penn League instructor, Kevin Higgins. That was mandatory before every ball game. You got in that dugout and you shined those shoes up and polished them, and you better believe you had your pants up, and you better believe you were showing white sock with those stirrups.
That's right.
Oh, I came up through some hard-nosed programs, some hard-nosed individuals, no doubt. So I know all about that shoe shining.
All right.
So, Mr. Umpires, what's taking so long in New York? I think we've been past the 2 minutes.
They're going to keep him at home.
Oh, yeah,
plate.
they're saying no, which, but, you know, I mean, just really the change of the direction of the baseball is enough to know to hit something. Because of that high home shot, the ball would have continued towards the Mariners dugout. Took it 27 more seconds. They should have.
So the count 1-2 to Olson. It's a hard base hit right field. Here comes Piscotty. Gamble will pick it up. He'll throw to the plate. It's late. All the way around to third is Joyce. And now it's 6-3. The A's lead.
Take that.
That's right. Well, we got a saying on the playground that goes a little something like this: ball don't lie. And that's exactly what happens here. Matteo gets himself a changeup down. Does a good job of staying back, extends right through the teeth of the shift.
So that is RBI number 79. Excuse me, Dallas. So Scott Service is coming out. He's going to grab pitcher number 7. So we'll tell you who that is when
presented by authority of the Oakland Athletics. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
All right, it's 6-3, A's lead. They've added another run, and now they have a chance to maybe add a bunch. First and third, nobody out. Marcus Semien is going to be the hitter. He's going to face Justin Grimm. Chapman a chance to get to hit again. So Grimm is 1-3. Not the tidiest of ERAs. It's 11.74. 14 walks in 15 innings. There was a time not that long ago, Justin Grimm was a pretty good reliever with the Chicago Cubs.
Yep.
Trying to get it back. So here's Marcus. Joyce is at third, and Olson is at first. Actually, it's Chad Pinder now, who's pinch running for Joyce at third base. There's Chad. As I look at my lineup card, Ray, I think everybody on the A's has a hit except for Marcus Semien. Everybody in the lineup.
May not need a hit here, just a sac fly would be helpful. If he wants to get the hit, take it.
Marcus hits one high and deep, left center field. Haniger's back there. He's going to make the catch. Plenty deep. As Pinder hustles home, and that's a sacrifice fly for Marcus Semien. And the A's now lead at 7-3. Well, it is a relentless offense, isn't it, Ray?
Well, that's, I mean, heavy air. The ball was crushed also, just left the center, deepest part of the park. But take it anyway, brings in another run. It is definitely relentless.
So as I look, the bottom four in the order, 5 for 12, 3 RBIs, 3 runs scored. Does that sound right?
Sounds good to me.
You get the point, right?
I got the point. Yep.
Familia is ready. Dallas, as a pitcher, explain how much more difficult it is when you're facing a deep lineup, which is what we've talked about a lot. And a deep lineup just basically means getting production from the bottom half of the lineup, which the A's have done all year.
Well, as an opposing pitcher, you're looking at that lineup and you're looking for your outs. You're looking at where the let-up is going to be within that lineup. Guys that you might have to avoid. You've identified an individual or maybe individuals that you do not want to let beat you. And so, with that being said, that is how you start to game plan. That is how you start to figure out how you're going to navigate these waters. But it becomes very difficult because if you find yourself in those cripple counts, 2-0, 3-1, you know that you don't want to just put somebody on base and go get that next guy, because that next guy can probably hurt you. And that's the danger of trying to navigate through a deep lineup or deep water.
So Lucroy, he swings and misses. Lucroy is retired for the first time tonight. And now you head to the top of the order, Ramon Laureano.
I think a breaking ball just kept running away from Lucroy, and he just opened up and maybe trying to hit another home run, considering he got one on the left side his last at bat.
So 2 away. Laureano is 1 for 4. So 3 singles and a sacrifice fly. has produced a couple of runs for the A's here in the top of the 8th inning. A little bit low. Mariano's hit tonight was a line drive single to center field in the 3rd inning. Sounder.
That's it. That's right. A lot of AAA guys been on that train before.
The train headed to Tacoma and runs right past the stadium. Sounder. There's a strike.
That's just not a good feeling. And that's not a good sound either. If you're somebody who's been struggling, you hear that train come blowing by.
Well, and Mariners AAA team is in Tacoma.
Yeah, that's it.
So when the A's had their AAA team in Sacramento, it was, well, we're going to shoot up the I-80 here. Yeah, get on Sounder.
Now it's Las Vegas. You may not be concerned. Maybe go, sit me down.
Yeah, right. I'll go for rehab assignment. Perfect. I'll go to Las Vegas. Yeah, but they're on the road. That's okay. That's okay.
I tell you, I was ready to buy myself a hybrid my rookie year, that I-5 shuttle.
And Olsen will take off again on the 3-2 count. Very high, shallow left. And Denard Span waits, and he's got it. 2 runs for the A's. Bottom of the 8th coming up from Safeco. It's now 7-3 Athletics. All right, let's check out tonight's game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. 7-10-0 for the A's, 3-6-0 for the Mariners. We have reached the bottom of the 8th inning. The A's have hit 4 home runs in the game. And the Mariners have hit 2 home runs, but the A's on their way to the postseason. They found out right at the start of their game that the Tampa Bay Rays had lost tonight, and that guaranteed the A's a spot in the postseason. Right now they are the #2 wild card team, still trying to catch the Yankees and maybe catch the Houston Astros, but these are in no matter what. So here is Familia with Chad Pinder staying in the game. Pinder staying out there in left field. Top of the order for the Mariners. So Fernando Rodney goes an inning, gives up a hit, nothing else. It's been Migden, Buchter, Rodney, and now Familia. Still some important games going on in the National League. The Cubs lost today to Pittsburgh, and the Brewers beat the Cardinals in St. Louis. That is a huge series. So the Cubs still in first place in the National League Central, but the Brewers are now just a game and a half back. Cubs just can't put that division away.
That's fun, though, to think about going down the last week of the season, having all those things happening.
Yeah.
Well, it's exciting because we talk a lot about the game of baseball and the season of baseball being a long one. A lot of times fans feel like they can check in and out. Haniger flies out to Piscotty and sort of catch up at a crucial part in the season. But when these games go down to the very last moment, like you said, you are on the edge of your seat. You're excited. Everybody is showing up to the yard and excited. You've got ball games to win.
And the Colorado Rockies won today. The Dodgers are winning in the 9th inning in Arizona 5-3, so the National League West is not quite figured out yet. Dodgers with a game and a half lead. And then that all plays into the National League wild card race as well. So things are not really all that clear in the National League postseason picture. American League, all 5 teams are in. Red Sox, Indians, Astros, Yankees, and the Athletics. In the National League, it's only the Atlanta Braves. The Cubs' magic number stays at 5. The Dodgers' magic number is 6. But check out the National League wild card, Ray.
Yeah.
See, the Brewers beat the Cardinals. Cardinals with a half-game lead over the Rockies for the second wild card. So the Rockies are not in, but they're a half game out in the wild card and a game and a half out in the division.
And that half game is theirs because they played one less game.
And the Rockies are home all week. They host the Phillies for 4. They beat the Phillies tonight, and then they host the Washington Nationals for 3. So it is a nerve-wracking week at Coors Field because, well, they may win and still not get in.
How about that?
And that's tough. Rockies a very good team. We saw that earlier this year. So
that's going to be disappointing for the Diamondbacks too.
Diamondbacks have fallen out of it.
They're done.
Jam shot. Lowrie, quick throw. Got him. Segura scoots down the line pretty well. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th.
Well, you can see both Familia and Jed laughing. Familia laughing. He thought maybe for a second he might have had a shot at that, but this thing had some spinach on it coming off the bat. Not an easy ball to corral. You got to make sure this thing is done. A lot of side spin coming off of it. But Jed Lowrie, true pro.
Just 4 errors this year, man. He's been steady, hasn't he, Ray? He turns
he
the double play well.
Yeah. And you know, I was checking out the belts. You know, Familia's all by himself with a gold belt. You know what I'm saying? All the guys have green. And
well, Ray, it's the A's, man. You just wear, green, gold, white. You know that.
Wear all the different colors you want, but it worked. But the ball jammed him. Do whatever you want. We'll be playing October baseball.
One and one the count to Robinson Cano. It's not an easy play.
There's a spin. See the ball spinning, and Jed charged it.
Well,
a quick throw.
And one thing you saw Jed do there is he closed his glove completely, and that's to stop that ball from spinning, because a lot of times you can see that ball will just continue to spin in the glove and can work its way up out of the top of the glove. Can be tough for an infielder to handle. So Jed just clinching it, if you will, no pun intended, and making sure that that thing calms down.
So 1-2 to Robinson Cano's 1 for 3. Swing and a miss. He struck him out 97 miles an hour. 9th inning coming up. A's closing in on a celebration in Seattle. 7-3 A's.
Game, Matt Chapman. The A's had tied the game as 3-3. And Matt Chapman, after Jonathan Lucroy was hit, crushes the ball to straightaway center field. And that was with 2 outs in the inning. So great shot by Matt Chapman to give the A's the lead. And they've added on since. That's a big hit.
That was a biggie.
Deal with 2 outs. Go straightaway central.
So Nick Rumbelow is the new pitcher for the Seattle Mariners as he faces Chapman.
Yeah, once the game is over.
So pitcher number 8 for Seattle. Two 2-0 to Chapman. Lowrie to follow, and then Davis here at the top of the 9th inning from Safeco Field. Numbers for Rumbelow. 7.53 ERA. So Trinan is going to get the bottom of the 9th, as it should be.
Yeah.
3-0 pitch will make it the 3-1 pitch.
And he doesn't care, and the skipper doesn't care that it's a more than a save lead, but right now the A's trying to win the game regardless of statistics.
A little bit outside, and Chapman has the walk. Well, how's our front office group doing, Ray? I think they're having a good time, and I think they are ready to party just a little bit, and why not? That group has worked awfully hard all year long, And well, tonight they'll get rewarded just a little bit. And in the clubhouse, yeah, they're ready as well. A little Chandon, Ray, that's what I drink. When I drink champagne.
I thought you were a Bud man. See,
Gary
Budweiser there. Huh? That's right.
Yeah, that champagne
That's
was
not
put on the airplane, right?
Yeah, that's not drinkable either. That's, I mean, that's sprayable.
Sprayable. Yeah, that came on the plane with us.
Yes, it did. Evidently, that's why the plane was delayed.
Well, hey, there's luggage, and then there's the more important
That's
thing.
right.
There's the champagne.
Maybe that's why Voos was on the phone. Maybe it hadn't arrived yet.
Steve Vucinich, who's in charge of the champagne, among many, many other things. He's had a few celebrations in his day.
Yes.
And enjoys each and every one of them, I'm sure. Well, what you hope is that it's the first of, well, let's see. Win the wild card, win the division, win the first of 5. Wild card, division series,
well,
championship series.
This one, the wild card, the division.
There's your 5.
Yeah. And if you're wild card, it takes 12 wins to 11 without the wild card. Yep. But if you're a wild card participant, 12 wins, 20 possible games, and world champion.
Lowrie swings and misses for the first out here in the 9th inning. Not that we're counting or anything, right? So here's Khris Davis. He homered tonight. That was in the 6th inning, a solo shot, number 46. We'll check to see how J.D. Martinez did tonight.
Well, this was it to center field, a high fastball. And when he hits them, you can look all you want. At the bottom line, they're going to probably leave the yard. If you're a pitcher and you hear that sound, you have a pretty good idea it's going.
So Jason Giambi holds the Oakland A's record for most RBIs in a season, 137. Giambi's also on there again a couple times. Khris Davis, the 7th most RBIs in a season, actually tied for 6th.
Well, straightaway center field, 106. Not surprised with the velocity off the bat. 410 feet, 27-degree angle. It was a line drive, if you want to say that, because it did not take long to get out.
0-2 pitch. Right field, but not this time. Nice Gamble has it. So that's 2 outs. Ray, looking at what J.D. Martinez, he did not homer tonight and he did not drive in a run. So Khris Davis right now with 120 RBIs. J.D. Martinez has 124. Khris Davis has 46 home runs. Martinez has 41. So there's an excellent chance that Khris Davis is going to lead the major leagues in home run. Well, nobody in the National League has nearly that amount.
And there was a time when we were talking about J.D. Martinez leading both leagues on the Triple Crown. But it's like that is not going to happen. It's a strong man right there in Khris Davis.
J.D. Martinez is 2nd in the American League at hitting at 329. So 0-2 the count to Stephen Piscotty, who's 1 for 4. He singled and scored in the 8th. Piscotty strikes out, and that will do it for the A's, and we are now headed to the bottom of the 9th. The A's are 3 outs away from a trip to the postseason. They're going to celebrate no matter what, but you want to do it with a W. And they'll try to do that with the closer, the all-star closer, Blake Trinan, coming in, and even with a 7-3 lead, Ray, this is the guy that needs to be on the mound when you celebrate in the middle of the field. So that is.
Well, he's deserved it for sure, because Blake Trinan has been a tremendous asset to this ball club as a closer, and something really that he was originally the A's, traded to the Nationals, brought back to the Athletics, and probably, even though he has experience in postseason with the Nationals, not exactly what he probably is going to experience now with the Athletics, and that is being the primary guy in the back end of the bullpen. And the nice thing too is that 1 inning, he's not just the 1 inning pitcher, and that's what makes him such a unique pitcher, to be able to go out, and if you need to pitch him 2 innings, he can do it. There's your Iron Man.
So the standings have the A's trailing the Astros by 5 in the division. So the Houston Astros now with a magic number of 2 to clinch the division. So they're closing in on that. But the A's are sitting firmly. They're guaranteed the 2nd wild card spot. They're trying to catch the Yankees to host the wild card game, which will be played next Wednesday night, October 3rd, in either New York or in Oakland. And then the division series would start 2 nights later on Friday, October 5th. And that will be in Boston.
That would be in Boston, regardless, with their record. And they have the best record, which means they're going to host their first round again, the wild card.
They're going to host everything.
It will be the American League West hosting the Cleveland Indians, and right now it looks like it's the Astros, unless the A's. Well, the A's can continue to win, but if the Astros win, it's a moot point. They're the ones that have the control right now.
So that is where we are at in the American League postseason, as Blake Trinan will try to get the final 3 outs. A's with a 94-62 record. Last year, 75-87. So Nelson Cruz will lead things off. Nelson Cruz is 1 for 3. He had a base hit. And the first pitch is a touch outside. Blake Trinan has some postseason experience, a little bit anyways, for the Washington Nationals in 2016. He pitched in 3 games against the Dodgers. He had a win and a loss. Pitched just 2 2/3 innings, but he's been out there. With a 0.81 ERA, that's the lowest ERA in all of baseball among relievers. Big hop for Lowrie. Straightens up, throws to first, 1 away. Dallas, is Dallas down there, or is he ready to roll?
Ready to roll.
Are you ready to roll?
Ready to roll. I am down here, tucked in the corner of the dugout, just taking in the last few outs.
You know what they used to say at the beginning of Hill Street Blues? Be careful out there, Dallas.
I know. Head is on a swivel.
He is in a good spot. Here's Denard Span. First pitch to Denard Span is right there for a strike. So the "Let's Go Oakland" chant coming from out in right field. We know who's doing that. Bounced up the middle. Lowrie on the backhand. Throws on the run. Got him. 2 away.
There's a lot of fans behind the A's dugout that are cheering also. And so it's a combination, maybe in stereo, right field and behind the A's dugout. So that was nice there. And an even better play, Jed Lowrie taking care of the first 2 outs in this inning. With a strong throw across his body. He's done that consistently all year. Does it again on this one.
So with 2 away, here's Kyle Seager. There they are. So the shift is on for Seager.
You'd think we were in Oakland.
That is awesome. There's a whole bunch up behind the A's dugout, all standing and clapping.
This is amazing. I mean, Bob Melvin has said it before on the road how the A's fans keep cheering. You'd think it's at the Coliseum, and I see he's probably experiencing that tonight.
1-0 the count to Seager. Rolled foul, and now the count even at 1-1. Trying to get the final out, get the A's into the clubhouse, and that's a strike on the inside corner, and now it's 1-2.
He may be going for the punch out to end it. No better way than a strikeout to finish off, and now you're going to the postseason. I think he throws a hard slider. There it is. Throw it hard. Throw it hard, get him a chase.
Trying to kicks, trying and deals. It's in the dirt. So he did throw it hard, a little bit too hard. 2-2 the count.
Well, it's got to be special for Blake Trinan. It's said he was FaceTime this morning with his family from Walla Walla, Washington. Said about 5 hours from here. Too far to drive to come here, so he's FaceTiming with his family, especially his wife, his daughter, new baby boy, Crew, just born a few days ago. So very special time for him.
2-2 pitch. Got him swinging, and that's the ball game. And how about this, folks? The magical season for the Oakland A's will now include October baseball. The A's are in the postseason for the 4th time in the last 7 years, and they are ready to party athletic style here in Seattle. Congratulations to the Athletics. What a season so far, with a lot more to come. So they are a wild card team for now, and they are happy about it. Bob Melvin, for the 4th time in the green and gold, he is headed to the postseason. And man, how much does he love this team? How can you not?